It's called the Basketball Alumni Legends League, a new twist on an old sport, and it debuted yesterday afternoon in Washington. Tonight, the world premiere showcase weekend continues from the Hagan Arena at St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia. Phil, you've been an early supporter of the league. What do you like about the concept?
Well, I like the idea that young guys could go back into the cities where they made a name for themselves. The guys from Philadelphia against the guys from D.C. I like the fact that we have city rivalries. The people that understand the history of our game, it started city against city.
Phil, interesting as the lineups are being introduced, it's the mix of players from these area colleges.
Oh, it really is. I had a little bit of a smile on my face and some shivers because I remember what those guys did the last time they were introduced, for me and against me.
And Phil, to see guys from Villanova, St. Joe's, and Temple all on the same team, something you never thought you would see in your life.
No, but it speaks about what Philadelphia is about. Philadelphia is a basketball community, and the fact that they represent their schools. But Dick, if you go back, this is the way it used to be.
All right, we are set to go with the opening tip, the second of two games in an inaugural weekend, kind of a demonstration weekend, a showcase weekend to launch the Basketball Alumni Legends League, the ball. And this is Team Philadelphia with it to start off, and going right inside and getting in deep is Ramon Moore out of Temple. He was the guy who hit the first ever quad yesterday. Now Pat Carroll drives, lays it in, and one.
You know what this Philadelphia team is loaded with? Really quality guys. Every one of them yesterday before they left Hagan Arena came in and spoke, talked to my campers who were here. Just really quality guys.
Dwayne Jones with the rebound dunk, and it's 7-2 Philadelphia. But Gist answering back. He had 15 yesterday, and he's got 4 in the early going today.
They are absolutely going to do that when the league starts up.
Clark driving through, and Jason Clark able to go to the rack and score. We play 4 quarters, right? Each going 10 minutes. 4 10-minute quarters. Pat Carroll puts one in from about 10 feet out.
His 5 points yesterday, John, at the end of the game. Obviously off to a much better start. He's shot, what, 8 million shots in this gym, Phil?
Austin Freeman.
John, we need a 4. You need a quad in the worst way.
I'm trying. We have the alley-oop, and James Gist on the dunk.
These kids from D.C. know how to play basketball. They're sharing the ball. This isn't an all-star game. And people have to be cognizant of the fact when this league starts, this is going to be about competition.
Austin Freeman, this is a quad. Got it.
There it is.
Bill Martelli sees his first 4, and Austin Freeman made the first ever 4 yesterday.
There's Jonte Christmas, newly inked by the Boston Celtics just a couple of days ago, getting a partial guarantee. Will be a member of the Boston Celtics going into the season. Shot banked home by Mark Tyndale, who's come on. And here comes Philadelphia. Jonte Christmas with a nice dish and a dunk. Ellegar.
I'll be honest with you. I'm shocked at the level of basketball. Doesn't surprise me. These guys share the ball, and they've been well coached up to this point.
Now it's Gilchrist, John Gilchrist, and the steal by Rodney Green. Return to Green, another good pass. Tyndale on the jam. Ho-ho!
That's how you run a fast break, Phil. That was perfect.
That was good basketball.
Will Thomas going to work. Baseline fall away. Got it. It gets to the heart of what this league is about because, you know, here are 3 guys, Will Thomas, Fowler and Campbell, and Jai Lewis, who are popular players, great memories for the fans. That's a 4.
Chris Monroe for 4.
4 for Chris Monroe. But, you know, then the guys disappear. They play in the D League and, you know, Fresno
overseas.
and Amarillo. They play in Greece and Argentina and Japan. And here's a chance for fans to come back and see it. That's what the thinking is behind
we saw a lot of fans in the stands yesterday, Phil, at GW that had George Mason jerseys on to come back and obviously live back what happened 6 years ago across town at the Verizon Center.
Well, you go around the arena tonight, the Hagan Arena tonight, you see a Villanova shirt, a Temple shirt, the St. Joe faithful have shown up. This is a remarkable concept.
Nice ball movement here, and one, count the bucket. Now right on the left side for 3. Rebound snapped down by Will Thomas, and he goes back up.
Yeah, Will Thomas, a Baltimore guy from Mount St. Joe's, a school I know you know well from the Baltimore Catholic League, produced a lot of good players through the years.
Will Thomas is a great example of low post players who are left-handed have a bigger advantage.
Steve Mountain doesn't want to hear about that. Jameer just signed a new contract as Dustin Salisbury dunks it.
Now, one of the things the league is looking for is local owners, and these are some of the potential markets that could come into play. There are others, but these are where the focus is right now.
You can envision the schools that might be involved: UConn and Hartford and Syracuse and the Lehigh Valley, Bucknell and Lafayette.
All the schools are represented here. There was a great scene during that media timeout. Probably the richest guy in the building is Jameer Nelson. He was jumping up and down underneath one of the baskets during the T-shirt throw-out contest. He wanted a T-shirt, as they did in the Philadelphia Public League when Wilt was playing.
Three-point shot here, cranked up and in by Ramon Moore.
That was Tashid Carr.
Tashid Carr.
Yes, I was talking to a bunch of them yesterday. A couple of weeks they're out of here. Frank Elegar, who's probably, with James Gist, John, I would think, is tied for the lead in the ball dunks.
And Philly seesaws into the lead. Nice move down the baseline by Freeman. Here's Chris Monroe. Oldest player in the game at 31, class of 2003 out of GW. Jason Clark backing away from the defense.
You know, one of the things that's going on very heavily.
Carr nailing a jumper. Philly gets it back, and just before the buzzer, Tashid Carr again.
This is about competition. This isn't an all-star game. The sharing of the ball has really blown me away.
All right, the third quarter, each of the four quarters gets underway with a jump ball, and in another rule innovation, the jump ball needs to be taken by a different player in each team in each of the four quarters. There's an old-fashioned dunk to get things going by Henry Sims.
Walked to junior high, walked to high school, and then walked to Temple. Pat came from Florida and had a great, great finish to his career.
Pat Carroll with a bucket here.
There's a four.
Christmas, got it!
There we go.
Deontay's first ever four.
Well, it's been a close competitive game just about all night. We have not had a double-digit lead by either team.
I think seven's been about as much as we've had here.
Deontay Christmas finishes.
Great pass from Scott Rogers to Deontay Christmas, and as Phil called it, the great backdoor cut.
One-point game again, and winds up in the hands of Scott Rogers. Tyndale down the middle. Nice dish, Christmas. Nice ball movement. This is a quad for Christmas. Got it!
From almost the exact same spot he hit the earlier one.
Starting to get the feel of that.
Yes, he is.
And so it remains Philadelphia by 5 at 66-61. Jason Clark has looked good.
There's a lot to like in these rules. Obviously, smart people have decided on it, but there's a lot to like with the rules. The beauty in this league, though, it's already started. The owner of the DC franchise is here, and he was just pitching me on the idea of Scotty Reynolds, who's from Herndon,
right,
has to play with the DC franchise, even though he went to Villanova.
I don't think so.
And I was like, yeah. I'm not on the board of directors. I don't have a vote.
Nah, Scotty's got to claim Philly now.
We've seen a lot of good passing, a lot of good teamwork on offense, and it's reflected in the assist totals. Jai Lewis muscling inside. Rebound coming the other way. Ryan Brooks on the move.
I think anything Jai Lewis does is muscle. It doesn't have to be just inside here, John.
I want to play this out and win it.
Nice move and a good dish. Good jam by Campbell.
When I first got the head coaching job, I wanted to meet with the NBA guys, who are, obviously a lot of them come through St. Joe's, and they told me to forget about it, that it wasn't that big a deal. And I still think to this day.
Salisbury. And no shot taken, lost the ball.
Too soon.
Yep.
Over-penetrate. Oh, nice pass.
And Jason Clark finishes in showcase mode this weekend with a game in Washington yesterday and this one in Philadelphia tonight. Limited schedule planned on a league basis next year and a full league schedule planned for the year 2014. Shot put up and in by Ryan Brooks.
Plus 13 in the second half, which is manifested in their shooting percentages.
You know, two guys that deserve a lot of credit here tonight are Johnny Newman and John Haynes. They're giving all these guys a chance to play, and the play looks fresh to me.
There's Johnny Newman in the sharp-looking suit.
You get a sense that DC's sort of hanging on here, trying to. It's a 9-point game, and you feel like Philly's a bucket or two from maybe putting this thing away.
There we go.
Ellegard taking the alley-oop. Christmas the assist. Ellegard's got 12 points.
I don't know if Jonathan Haynes called that, but we'll give him credit. That was a pretty good play coming out of the timeout.
But the other thing, the people in the arena saw it, but the people on TV didn't see it. The entire Philadelphia bench up and excited about who they're representing and what they're representing. Philadelphia basketball against DC. This is a great way to spend a Sunday night.
Chris Wright. 2-point shot. Yep. Rodney Green going to work. Rebound, Dwayne Jones fights it in. This will be a lower scoring game, and right now it's in Philadelphia's favor. Jason Clark lifts a 4.
That's a shot. That keeps DC very much breathing.
That was a big shot.
Here's an actual timeout taken. 2 a game for each team. In college, 5 a game for each team. I did the numbers. Phil, you have 18 potential timeouts counting media. In this, it's only 8.
And see how that plays out. The shorter shot clock, the pen-driving scoop made here by Chris Wright.
Chris Wright has slowly taken this game over.
Don't want to foul here at all.
It's a disaster.
How about that for 4?
4
to tie the
points
game.
There
Just like
Chris
that.
Wright.
Because of the possessions. Wow.
And Henry Sims with the twisting move. Chris Wright, who's been a star here in the second half. Working on Scott Rogers, a very good defensive player. Wright drives in. Here's his runner.
Wow.
Got it. Kissed it off the glass.
Yeah, you can't play defense much better than Scott with 2 seconds on the shot clock. All 15 of his points here in the second half. He's making a bid for the player of the game.
Not only the points, but he's involved in every play.
And involved here with a ball that goes around
Just
and out.
missed.
Wow.
Stolen by Sims. Henry Sims on a dunk.
One flurry changed everything.
Inside the 3-minute mark. And it's laid in here
Again,
by Clark.
The rules.
Christmas for 4. Off the rim. Oh, almost got it.
They almost tied it on that one possession.
They're just isolating. No, he didn't.
He crossed over Jai Lewis, just crossed Frank Ellegard.
And ran up the floor like he meant to do that.
2-possession game, down 8.
Tyndale back of the rim. Tyndale on another 4 try and a foul.
Now he has a choice of where to shoot free throws from here. Where was he fouled behind, the 3 or the 4?
I want to say that was a 4-point shot.
Well, he can shoot a 4 for 4 points.
There it is, and no.
But how cool is that? Shooting a 4-point free throw. Pat Carroll will be shooting a 4.
And making it.
Good call by John Haynes. You can't really take a foul here. You got to get a steal. Because taking a foul doesn't really help you.
Fascinating.
It's no help.
It's really fascinating.
You must get a steal here. You got to play defense. Now there's the foul. Fouling does you no good. 0. Which is a good thing. It's going to be hard to make a comeback at this stage.
See, they have an option, Dick. He just shot a 4-point foul shot.
Yeah, well, there you go. I like it. I don't know why he did that, but I guess he wanted to do it.
And the final score is in the books. It is Washington coming from behind. Team DC 102, Team Philly 94.
This was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I thought they shared the ball and they competed. Congratulations to everybody involved.
Thanks for watching.